This could possibly be the smallest EV charger on the market, the Sync Link. If you're new here, I'm Adam from SOTA Electrical, and today I'm working with the Professional Electrician YouTube channel, putting the Sync Link EV charger through its paces. Let's get stuck in. In the box, you get a drilling template for the charging point and the consumer unit. The Sync Link comes in two parts. You get the external charging point socket and you get the consumer unit with the built-in internal control module. The Sync Link EV charger is a two-part design. This is the socket where you charge your car from. This is going to be recessed into a wall. And the second part is this. All the clever stuff that you'd normally find inside an EV charger is not in this. All that clever stuff is inside this unit here, which is the brains of the installation. First of all, first impressions of this unit. The size of it, to give you some sort of comparison, is about the same as an iPhone. So nice and compact. And if you've installed many EV chargers before, you'll know how big and bulky some of the other units can be. There's two ways of installing this charger, two different models. This one's the recessed one, which I'm going to be doing today, and the way it works is that is going to recess into the wall like that. So all you'll see on the front of the property is the actual socket point. The other version sits on the front like that, but still nice and neat. But this is where it gets interesting. Normally inside an EV charger you have all the control elements within the unit, but with that being such a compact design, the second part to this installation has it all built in. Inside this consumer unit we can see that it comes with double pole RCD protection and surge protection. Installing this charger is going to be slightly different to the other installs that you've seen me do. We're going to run through everything. The wiring is ever so slightly different, and we have two Cat 5 cables that we need to install for this. One is going to be inside the EV Ultra, which is going to go from the brains to the charger, and that is just transferring information. And then we need another Cat 5 from the consumer unit to the meter tails for the load curtailment. Before you drill any holes in this consumer unit for your cable entries, it's essential to remove the DIN rail with your protection on. This consumer unit is also suitable for damp conditions, so only drill out the holes you require in order to maintain that IP rating. So with this install, I'm still using the Doncaster Cables EV Ultra, and that's because I still need that Cat 5 from the socket to the main consumer unit where all those clever bits are happening. The Sync Link is a 7.4 kilowatt charger, and with a slimline design it's only 37mm deep when recessed. It has auto solar charging, allowing you to utilise excess solar power to charge your EV. Now it's on to the fun part. Now that it's raining, I've got to drill a 117mm hole through the wall. You get a template for the other fixing holes also, but I'm choosing to drill the hole first just in case it moves a little bit, which put the other fixing holes out of place. You have the option when buying this charger whether you want to connect it to the internet via Ethernet, hardwire it, or 4G, but this is all model dependent. Ooh, that is tough. And if you're wondering, I do not have this drill on hammer. That is the clutch you're hearing. It's an old drill, but it's powering through. So with this charger, you only need to drill through the first course of brickwork. The second course, if you've got one, is a smaller hole, just enough to get the cable through. I'll show you in a second. So in theory, that will just sit like that. That took absolutely ages, by the way, to drill that hole. Neighbour's not happy with me either. Too much noise. Oh well. All the screws on this socket and the consumer unit are tamper-proof, so bear that in mind, but you do get a tamper-proof bit in the packaging if you don't have one. In the back of this, there's two grommets, one for the supply cable and the other one is for the Cat 5, but where I'm using the EV Ultra cable today, the Cat 5's inside it, so I only need to use the one hole. And then in the back of here we have line, neutral and earth terminals and the RJ45 and the RJ45 connection there, which the other end goes into the consumer unit. It's nothing to do with Ethernet before you think that, but we'll come to that. This wall is double skinned, so I'm just drilling a marker hole. Let me show you what I mean. So that is all I've done there, which hopefully has come through at a good place there. So that's okay. And then I'm just going to go back through the other side with a 20, which keeps this side of the install nice and neat. Lovely jubbly. So that just goes through the hole. With this one, where the housing sits into the wall, and I want to keep my double insulation on the EV Ultra, I need to strip the cable back so it falls about there. And in order to do that, I need to just mark it on the inside of this hole, pull it through, strip it, put it back through. That means my single insulation cords will only be in here, and they'll wrap up nicely when I put the front on. You get a choice of holes to drill on the socket, so you get the best fixing in the brickwork for the socket point. Important tip, before I fix this housing back, I want to put a load of silicone around to prevent any moisture in future going into the cavity of the wall. Maintaining IP ratings everywhere is essential. And we have these little IP rated washers which you must remember to use. Went a bit mad with the older silicone here. If you're like me and went a little bit crazy with the silicone, just clean it up after. Once you're at this stage, you've got your RJ45 made off, ferrules on the cables, you're ready to connect it up. But before I put this on, I want to talk a little bit about this data cable and what it does. So the main purpose of this data cable is to communicate from the socket to the control box. This charger has dual indicators, which means you can turn either of them off, which is perfect for dark sky areas where you can turn off the socket outlet indicator but still be compliant with the EV charging regulations, as there is an indicator on the control box. Right, so the way this is wired now is the feed comes in through the RCD, which then feeds the control stuff. Then out of that, we have the cable which then feeds the EV charger. The comms cable to the EV charger goes in that RJ45 connection. That is an Ethernet connection if you need it. And this is the connection for the load curtailment. What I think is really interesting about this charger is because this is the control box for it, this can be up to 50 meters away from the charging socket. So if you need to get Wi-Fi signal or Ethernet, that all has to go to here rather than to the actual socket, which can make some more complicated installations a little bit easier. The Sync Link comes with a 3-year warranty, and it also has 3 years included 4G data, which you can top up online to continue using this service after 3 years. Now we're on to commissioning the charger. Setting up and commissioning the EV charger is dead easy. Download and install the Sync Energy app. Select Advanced and start setup. Search for your device on Bluetooth and then the charger server that you wish to use. Run through the different parameter settings that applies to your installation and connect it to the internet. That's it, job done. So that's the installation complete. We have the Sync Link Brains Consumer Unit, I'm going to call it, up there. And outside we have the lovely EV charger. Look how tidy that looks. Nothing more on show, nice and flush to the wall. Absolutely cracking finish. A massive shout out to the Professional Electrician YouTube channel for letting me work on this project with you. It's been absolutely brilliant. If you've enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. You're going to see loads more of me on this channel. So I look forward to seeing you on the next one.